Welcome, everyone, and thanks for being here. I'm Erin Schmidt, CEO of Vida Global and Vida Magazine. And I'm excited to introduce you to my very new podcast, The Neo CEO. On this podcast, I plan to talk about my journey as CEO. I'm also going to be bringing in some industry leaders in marketing, leadership, business, in a wide variety of different industries. And we're going to be really uncovering the secrets to running a business successfully, growing it, and then, not getting bogged down by challenges and losing your passion or giving up. Those challenges will inevitably come. So we're going to talk about how the people who are successful got past those challenges, and you can too. So I hope you'll tune in. It's going to be wonderful and really exciting, bringing tons of value to you so you can go out and run that business. I hope to see you in the next episode. Thanks so much. Welcome, everyone. I'm Erin Schmidt, and this is the Neo CEO podcast. I wanted to do a podcast just with me as your host so you can get to know me and my journey as a CEO. It hasn't been easy. I've had businesses that failed. I've done a lot of things that I wish I hadn't. And I've always gone back to the fact that I know that if I really stick to it, I can get through all of those challenges. And I'm going to tell you about those in just a second. So everyone might hear the term CEO and go, oh, that's big and scary, and I could never do that. And trust me, I used to be one of those people. I went to school for a totally different field. I'm a master's degree in speech pathology because I was told that I needed to get a degree in a field. I had to, be a professional, and I did that for many years. But to be honest, a lot of that time I was miserable. I didn't enjoy it sometimes. I was really had a hard time working for other people because I wanted to be the leader, because I wanted to run my own business. I wanted to be the person who was creating and creative. And so I did start several businesses in e-commerce. And the one that finally stuck was 6 years ago. I started my company, Vida Santa Barbara Luxury Skincare. I have been on Founder Magazine. I've been featured in lots of other magazines with interviews, on podcasts, and now I'm part of the Los Angeles Tribune podcast network. So I started my magazine a year ago, Vida Magazine. So I am CEO of 3 different companies right now. And I'm starting this podcast to really inspire you, to show you that, people that are out there who maybe you look up to have had challenges just like you, some that probably would have taken most people out of the game, but there's something about those individuals that made them persevere. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. I have shared this on other podcasts I've done. I've also shared it on the LA Tribune. And it's taken me about 5.5 years to talk about this because it's very painful. About 6 years ago, my father took his own life while I was in the process of getting ready to launch my company, Vida, which means beautiful life. I was devastated, to say the least. But instead of curling up in a ball and not getting out of bed like I wanted to, I completely threw myself into creating my company. The network of other entrepreneurs that I had through Founder Magazine on their Facebook group really helped support me through that. I felt like I wasn't alone as a solo entrepreneur. And of course, my husband, Brady Schmidt, who I love dearly, has been so supportive all along the road. So having that network of other people who understand the challenges of starting a business, growing it, can give you feedback. And, you have to be open to that feedback in order to get better. So I'm living proof that no matter what you're going through, you can get past it and use it to fuel your passion. I'm also the mom of a girl with moderate autism, and that is not easy, believe me. She has a lot of challenges, and there's times when it really does affect my ability to be effective in my business. And I've had to really find help and find support. Thankfully, again, my husband is amazing and he helps me to persevere. He takes over if I need to really focus on something. So, having that support network, having people that you can turn to, ask for help, ask for, um, what are you doing in your business? That helps. And if you're feeling like giving up, I would encourage you to, instead of giving up, give it time. Um, there's been points in my business I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And in previous businesses, I did give up and said, okay, I can't do this, or I lost my passion for it. But with this one, I decided very early on not to give up no matter what. And that has really helped because there are definitely times when I've gone several weeks, if not a month or more, without making a sale. So I thought, oh, great, maybe this isn't working. And then now I'm carried in Hong Kong and Macau. I have businesses all over the United States that are carrying my products. So persevering through all of that is so important. It doesn't mean that your business idea isn't going to work. It means that you need to work on the business. You need to market better. You need to have better social media content. You need to find other people that can support you in that area if you suck at it, honestly. And I'm not always great. I have a hard time giving up control over certain things because I want to make it really, really good. But as an entrepreneur, you'll never get past being a solo entrepreneur if you can't delegate and you can't trust other people to do justice to your baby. So that's, I would say, one of the keys to success is not just being patient and persevering, but being open and being honest with yourself. If you think, okay, this kind of sucks and I didn't do a good job on that, finding people who are better than you, who can come on board and help you with whatever you're struggling in. So I took a big pivot in my company after COVID, and I decided to really dive into another passion of mine, which is writing and speaking. And obviously, I'm a speech pathologist, so communication is one of my things that I absolutely love. When I went into college, I actually thought that I was going to be a newscaster. I went in with, bright-eyed and thinking, oh, okay, I'll study communications. And then I had my very first public speaking class and decided, oh no, this is horrible. I can't do this. It was very difficult. I was so nervous. And if I had let that stop me, I wouldn't be doing this here today. And I have gotten up in front of lots of people on live streams that have gone across the world. And I think it just comes down to believing in yourself, learning that, yeah, you might screw up. You might have some moments where you're just like, this isn't good. Why am I doing this? But taking a beat, remembering why you started, and letting your passion build back up and getting support, like I said. So with my magazine, I actually have a copy of my last issue with Eric Roberts on the cover, Bella Vida magazine. We are about to launch our second magazine, or sorry, it's our fourth issue, I should say, but it's about to come out. And I'm so excited. The last podcast that I did was with Wendy Starland, and she is on one of the covers, and the other is Sedona Ledge. We're having an event on this Thursday, actually, with Joseph McClendon, who is partners and traveled the world with Tony Robbins and Deepak Chopra. And I'm so honored to have him speaking at my event because of Michael Silvers at the Los Angeles Tribune helped make that happen. So I'm hoping you'll tune in. I'm going to have some really exciting updates from that. And all of that really came about because I put myself out there. If I hadn't started my podcast, Living a Bella Vida, which is also on the Bella Vida magazine podcasts everywhere, I definitely wouldn't have had that opportunity. So you just never know what is going to come from just sticking with it. And this has taken me a long time. 6 years is a long time to get to a point where I am seeing the fruits of my labor all those years by myself, in my sweats, in my hair in a bun, going, okay, can I do this? And just seeing what works, and if it didn't work, and then I had to rebrand everything, which cost a lot of money. And all of those experiences have led me to being here with you. And I'm so excited to share my journey and then bring the journey of everyone who's going to be on this podcast, because I think when you hear the struggles, you hear the challenges, you know that these are real people with really difficult circumstances sometimes, who have had failures, who've had setbacks, who've lost tons of money, if not millions of dollars in money. Not me personally, thank God, but I'm hoping to avoid that in the future. So God, please don't ever let that happen. But, I think that anyone who's out there listening and wants to start a business or maybe has a business that's struggling right now and isn't sure if they should just give up, there's always help and there's always support. And I hope that you will get that support before you just give up, because it just might mean that you need to go back to the drawing board, rethink your product, rethink your marketing, rethink your website, your social media. And by doing that, you can almost like relaunch your company and have a whole new perspective on things and find that part of you in the company that really is excited about what you're doing again. Now, sometimes you might have to pivot and you might have to go, yeah, this isn't for me. I started a company in fashion and I was doing actually pretty well, but I lost my passion for it and I had to put it aside. And I'm actually really glad that I did that. At the time, it sucked. I felt like a total failure and like, why am I trying to be an entrepreneur? But I can tell you that I learned some really valuable lessons in that process. I learned what not to do. I learned what I did do that was really powerful, which I'm going to continue to do now in building community. And I think that when you just believe in yourself, give it time, be very, very patient with the process. It doesn't happen overnight for most people. And the people that it did happen overnight usually had tons of money to make it happen overnight. Or they were already a celebrity and launched a company and it took off because they had a platform to make it happen. So don't give up. Don't lose heart. Don't, beat yourself up if you have a failure. Just take it in stride, rethink about your process, and get support. And I'm hoping that this podcast is going to do that for you. I would love to hear your story. If you have any ideas for guests that could come on the podcast, I'd love to hear that. You can email me at info@bellavidamagazine.com, or you can leave comments below and let me know what you think. And if you have any ideas or questions about your business that you would like answered, please send them over. My next guest is going to be Danny Walsh, who is one of the senior tribe of ClickFunnels. Now, if you haven't heard of ClickFunnels, Google it. It's huge. Russell Brunson is one of the top marketers on the planet. He created ClickFunnels 10 years ago, and it's worth well over $1 billion. So you're going to get some incredible marketing tips from people, not just me, and you can find a way to get past any challenge. And there's no such thing as a saturated market, because you can make your mark and find your niche and be successful. So I'm cheering you on, and I'm telling you that you can do it. And no matter what, I hope you will try and be fearless in the pursuit of the things that set your heart on fire. I love that quote. So thanks for being here. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.